Today we will see OpenGL, that is Open Graphics Library concepts. The objective is to learn OpenGL primitives, attributes and basic concepts. Let us see OpenGL pipeline. In OpenGL, the commands enter the pipeline from the left. These commands may be either accumulated in the display list or processed immediately through the pipeline. Display list encapsulate a group of commands so that they may be later issued as many times as desired simply by calling the list by name. This allows increased optimization, server-side command caching and simplified user programming. This display list may be redefined but may not be edited. They can be nested however. Stage 1 of the pipeline is the evaluator. It takes any polynomial evaluator commands and evaluates them into their corresponding vertex and attribute commands. Evaluators allow the specification of polynomial functions of one or two variables which may be used to determine a primitive's vertex coordinates, normal coordinates, texture coordinates and or color. Evaluators may either be used within primitives or outside primitives. Stage 2 of the pipeline is per vertex operations and primitive assembly. In this stage, it includes transformations, lighting, primitive assembly, clipping, projection and viewport mapping. Stage 3 is rasterization. It produces fragments which are series of frame buffer addresses and values from the viewport map primitives as well as bitmaps and pixel rectangles. Stage 4 is per fragment operations. Before fragments go to the frame buffer, they may be subjected to a series of conditional tests and modifications such as blending or Z buffering. Parts of the frame buffer may be fed back into the pipeline as pixel rectangles. Texture memory may be used in the rasterization process when texture mapping is enabled. Let us see data types in OpenGL. The third column, that is C language type, is shown, and accordingly you can have OpenGL type definition. For example, for float data type in C, the suffix used in OpenGL is F for 32-bit floating point and it is represented by GL float. Similarly, for int data type in C, suffix used in OpenGL is I. It is used for 32-bit integer and in OpenGL the data type is GL int. Like this, the data types are defined in OpenGL for C language types. Then implementations of OpenGL have scope in selecting which C data type to use to represent OpenGL data types as shown in the previous table. In OpenGL, related libraries are available. So OpenGL provides a powerful but primitive set of rendering commands and all higher level drawing must be done in terms of these commands. A number of libraries exist to allow us to simplify our programming tasks. Like GL provides you primitives like points, line, polygons, shading and color, translation, rotation, scaling, viewing, clipping, hidden surface removal. GLU, which is OpenGL utility library, it provides you viewing, that is perspective and orthographic, then image scaling, polygon tessellation and sphere, cylinders, quadratic surfaces. GLU2 GLUT library provides windowing toolkit for key, mouse handler, window events. This GLUT is nothing but OpenGL utility toolkit. For display window management using GLUT library, 5 routines are available to perform the task necessary to initialize a window. The first task is GLUT init. It takes two parameters ARGC and ARGV. This GLUT init function initializes GLUT and it processes any command line argument that is provided as ARGC and ARGV. This function should be called before any other GLUT routine. Second function is GLUT init display mode. This function specifies whether to use an RGB or color index or color module. You can also specify whether you want a single or double buffered window. This function takes input as the mode, which can be GLUT double, RGB or depth. Then next function is GLUT init window position. It takes the parameters integer x and y. It specifies the screen location for the upper left corner of our window. Next function is GLUT init windows size. It specifies the size in pixels of our window. Another function is GLUT create window that creates a window with an OpenGL context. It returns a unique identifier for the new window. Other than these 5 functions, you can use another function that is GL clear color. This function is used to set the background color for the display window. The first 3 arguments of this function set red, green and blue component, and the last parameter is alpha value. OpenGL functions for setting up transformations are available, like model transformation, which provide translate, rotate and scale operation. Then viewing transformation, for that glue lookat function is available. Then projection transformation can be done using the 4 functions shown here, and viewing transformation can be performed using the function GL view port. The structure of a GLUT program is shown in this slide. It consists of main function which takes ARGC and ARGV, that are the command line arguments. Then first you have to call the GL init function. Then next is GLUT init display mode function is called. Then GLUT create window function is called, which provides size and position. Then GLUT display function is called. This display function is taking the parameter that is display. This is actually the name of our function, which is going to display what shape, for example line, triangle, polygon, what we want to draw. So this GLUT display function takes the parameter display, that is the function which is called for drawing the shapes. Then next is GLUT keyboard function, which is used to display callback routines for drawing. Next, GLUT mouse function is called for keyboard callback. Then GLUT motion function is called for mouse callback. Then at the end, for mouse move callback, init function followed by GLUT main loop is called. Then this is the word display function, which will have all the statements to show the shapes or draw the shapes on the screen. Then all these function bodies are written at the end. So this is the structure of a simple GLUT program. You can perform drawing in 2D using OpenGL. For example, you will first call GL begin function. If you want to draw points, then the parameter for GL begin will be GL underscore points, and this will call the 2D points. So the function name is GL vertex 2D, and two parameters, that is x and y coordinates, are passed. So like this, whatever parameter number of points you want to display, that many times the function GL vertex 2D is called, and at the end GL end function is to be called. Then you can also assign colors in OpenGL. For that, the GL color function can be called. It takes the color components red, green, blue in the range 0-1 as float or 0-255 as unsigned byte. For example, if you write GL float my color 3 equal to 001, then this my color vector is storing the color blue, that is 001. Similarly, you can use vectors for the other colors also. Then you can draw a square in OpenGL in using the GLUT libraries. So to draw a square, you have to use GLUT init function that initializes the GLUT library and also processes any command line options related to GLUT. Display function, it clears the screen, sets the current color to red and draws a square polygon. And then GL flash function is also used that forces previously issued OpenGL commands to begin execution. This is the program which is discussed earlier. In this, the change is in the display function. So as we want to display the square, so in this display function, first the previous color is cleared and new color is set, and then because the square takes 4 vertices, you will call GL begin function with GL polygon, and then these 4 vertices are drawn, and then at the end you will call the GL end function, and this GL flash function will force the program to display the square. So according to shape you want to draw, you have to write this display function. Remaining things will be similar for the other shape. These are the few references which are used to prepare this topic. Thank you.